Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Dr.Yousif lectures and today's lecture about Amiodarone drug interaction. So before I start this lecture, it's my request to you kindly subscribe this channel and hit the bell icon so you get new updates about my new videos. So let's be talking about the Amiodarone drug interaction. So what is the imidurine drug interactions? Basically, imidurine is one of the class 3 anti-arrhythmic drug and also having potassium channel blocking agent. Okay. So let's be talking about drug interaction. Basically, there are mostly the three drug interaction between the imidurine, which is first one is the imidurine and warfarin. So as you know that warfarin is metabolized by CYP450 enzyme. So this enzyme is mostly responsible for the metabolism of the warfarin. If this enzyme is metabolized by warfarin, but when we given together by imidorine, so imidorine is inhibiting the CYP450 enzyme. So when the imidorine is inhibiting the CYP450 enzyme, so as a result, there is decrease the metabolism of warfarin. If the metabolism of warfarin is decreases, it means that the warfarin concentration is increased inside the blood. If the warfarin concentration is increased inside the blood, then as we know, if the warfarin concentration is increased, so the INR value is also increased. If the INR value is increased, means the chances of the blooding is too much. So how can we overcome this drug interaction? Solution is that either we can decrease the 50% of warfarin dose. So through this way we can prevent this drug interaction, because if we decrease the 50% of warfarin dose, so you have chances of INR value is decreased, so the blooding chances also decrease. So through this way we can resolve this drug interaction. And another drug interaction is imidorine and digoxin. And this is the both drug cannot give together, because the digoxin, see the bind with the albumin, which is the tissue protein, and when we giving the amiodarone and digoxins together, basically when we giving the digoxin is bind with the albumin, which is one of the protein of tissue sites. So when you giving the digoxin is bind with the albumin. So but when you're talking about the imidorine with the digoxin, the imidorine also 96% the binding with a protein binding. So when we giving the imidorine with the digoxin is 25% protein binding. But when talking about the imidorine is 96% the protein binding. So when you give it together, the imidorine is bind with a albumin. When the imidorine is bind with the albumin, it displaces this digoxin. It displaces the digoxin, and if digoxin is going to be displaced, now the concentration of the digoxin is not too much inside the tissue side, and this digoxin is going to be displaced and going towards in the blood. Now the digoxin concentration inside the blood, if the digoxin concentration inside the blood is too much, because imidorine when bind with the albumin, and this imidorine when bind with the albumin, it displaces the digoxin from the tissue side. If this is displaced from the tissue side, so increase the concentration from the tissue towards in blood. If this concentration of digoxin inside the blood is too much, it means the chances of digoxin toxicity is too much. So that's why we cannot give in the imidorine with a digoxin. And how can we resolve this drug interaction? Is a solution is that either we decrease the 50% of dose of digoxin. So means we decrease the 50% of the dose of digoxin, so its chances of digoxin toxicity is also less. So through this way we can prevent the imidorine and digoxin drug interaction. Now last one is the imidorine and the simvastatin. Simvastatin basically is one of the anti-hyperlipidemic agent. We can decrease the cholesterol concentration through the simvastatin, but we cannot give in the imidorine with the simvastatin. How? Because imidorine is inhibiting the CYP3A4 enzyme. Because when we just inhibit CYP3A4 enzyme, simvastatin is not metabolized through CYP3A4 enzyme. If the simvastatin is not metabolized from CYP3A4 enzyme, then how it's furtherly metabolized? If the furtherly not metabolized, it means the simvastatin concentration is going to be increased inside the blood. If the simvastatin increase the concentration inside the blood, it causing the myopathy, it causing the rhabdomyolysis and the muscle weakness. It means when the imidorine inhibit the CYP3A4 enzyme, if this is an enzyme is going to be inhibited, the concentration of simvastatin inside the blood is too much. If the concentration of simvastatin inside the blood is too much, then it causing the myopathy, rhabdomyolysis and muscle weakness. So how can we overcome this drug interaction? The solution is that either we decrease the dose of the simvastatin, or another is the either we can give in the alternative statin solution. Either we decrease solution is either we decrease dose of simvastatin, and another solution is that either give alternative statin like fluvastatin and pravastatin, because fluvastatin and pravastatin is not metabolized from this enzyme. If this is not metabolized this enzyme, so it means the chances of the toxicity is less. So that's why we either the decrease the dose of simvastatin or either giving the alternative statin like fluvastatin and pravastatin. So through this way we can avoid this drug interaction. This is all about amiodarone drug interaction. If you have any query about this topic about the drug interaction, so you can ask into comment box. And this is all about my from my side. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.